Darkness. It envelopes you like an endless darkness from which there is no escape. You try to breathe, but something viscous and alive squeezes your body. You realize that you are inside something, fleshy, pulsating, breathing with you. Panic seizes you. Your heart pounds in your chest, and your lungs burn from the lack of air. You beat your hands and feet, desperately trying to free yourself. The cracks in your dungeon grow wider and wider, until, finally, you feel the cold breath of the outside world. You fall to the hard ground, covered in slime that smells of death and decay. Now you see this place, a bizarre chaos, combining the ruins of past eras with the horrors of the present. Tall towers made of human bones, statues frozen in eternal agony, and metal structures that sparkle under the pale, sickly light. The streets here are alive. You hear something moving in the shadows, whispering your name. You don't understand who it is or how they know you, but an unbearable fear grips your body. There is no time for thought in this place, only action. It seems to you that you are not alone here. The first shadows emerge from around the corners. These are other newcomers, just as disoriented as you, but something ghostly burns in their eyes, as if they have already managed to understand the cruel rules of this place. You hear a hoarse voice in your head whispering, "Kill or be killed." This is not a warning. This is the only truth you must accept. In this world, every minute is a battle for life. The first few minutes become a test that will decide whether you can survive. Your breathing is rapid and labored, your heart is pounding, and your blood is pounding in your ears. Disorientation gives way to the shocking realization that you are being watched. Others appear around you. Their faces are contorted with horror, but in their hands they already hold anything that could become a weapon. One holds a piece of rusty metal, another a broken bottle with sharp edges. A third clutches a rope made of torn human skin. You understand that any delay means death. Your actions become instinctive. Your gaze searches the ground for weapons. Debris, stones, splinters, anything that might help. You grab a rusty pipe, and its cold metallic smell hits your nose sharply. You have to act first, because the others will not wait. A blow, a scream, blood splashes onto the ground. Having protected yourself, you try to hide. The twisted buildings seem solid, but they hide their own dangers. You go inside, hearing broken glass crunching underfoot and black liquid pouring from cracks in the walls above. But here, shelter alone will not save you. You must find resources. Metal rods, charred wood, everything will come in handy for creating weapons or traps. And most importantly, water. It is poison here, acidic. Drops falling from the sky leave burns on your skin. You find a rusty cauldron and try to boil it, but the black sediment and the stench of corpses remind you that even this does not guarantee safety. This place will not forgive mistakes. Every step you take, every breath is a challenge. And the most terrible thing is that you do not know whether you will live to see the next dawn. Or maybe there are no more dawns here. Hell is a place where humanity dissolves in darkness. You quickly realize that it's every man for himself here, and even the slightest trust can cost you your life. Surrounded by cruelty, you decide to notice the hierarchy of this place. At the bottom level are the fresh meat, newcomers who, like you, have just escaped from their birth sacks. Their eyes burn with despair, and their hands are not yet accustomed to weapons. They are the first victims of this world. Next come the residents. These creatures have already learned to survive. Cold calculation shines in their eyes, and their skin is decorated with scars that tell terrible stories. They may offer you an alliance, but you will pay a high price for it. It is especially difficult for women. You hear screams in the darkness, realizing that the cruelty of this place knows no bounds. Some join the tribe for protection, others remain victims, trading their bodies for at least a shadow of security. But in this place, every day is a new battle. If you are weak, you will be broken. If you are trusting, you will be betrayed. You must return to what scares you most to stay alive. In the darkness, you come across tribes, groups that have created their own rules, their own semblance of society. Joining a tribe can provide you with some protection. They offer allies and individual resources, but every move within these groups is accompanied by a hidden threat. There is no equality in the tribe. Here, the one who is stronger, more cunning, or more cruel rules. If you join, you can force to prove your loyalty by completing tasks that will earn your blood. Your role in the tribe depends on your skills. Who among you will be the hunter, and who will be the victim? Betrayal is the extended currency of tribal life. Allies can turn into enemies at any moment, especially when it comes to food, water, or shelter. You must be constantly on the alert, even when your new comrades promise support. You quickly learn that being part of a tribe is not only a protection, but also a trap. You can be made for a higher purpose or simply at the whim of a leader. And then the tribe that promised you safety, create. On the border of the tribal lands begins the territory that the inhabitants of Hell call the Black Forest. This is a place where even the most cruel creatures dare not venture. Everyone knows that in the depths of darkness live creatures that have no name, only whispers about devourers. Their eyes burn in the darkness like hellish fires, and it seems that the trees themselves come to life when they go hunting. The devourers are not accidental. They are attracted by the smell of blood, the sound of a scream, or the trembling of those who dare to step into their possession. The inhabitants say that they feed not only on flesh, but also on souls, taking away every memory, every skin emotion, leaving behind only the earth. One night in the forest turned into a nightmare for you. You heard their footsteps that belonged neither to man nor beast. Their breath was as cold as death, and the whispers that echoed nearby made your heart pound as if it were about to burst. When they finally came to, your mind refused to believe what you saw. These were not creatures of this world, but something more, something ancient and insatiable. Desperation drives you to find a way out of this hell. You have heard rumors of catacombs that you have found deep underground. They supposedly lead to another world, but no one who has descended there has returned to confirm this. Despite your fear, you decide to take the risk because life on the surface no longer seems possible to you. The descent into the catacombs feels like a journey into the abyss. The darkness here is so thick that it seems as if it has weight. The ceiling is low, the air is filled with rot, and every sound, even your own breath, uses echoes to create the impression that you are behind. The usual laws of nature do not apply here. You see signs written on the walls that do not belong to any language you know. Sometimes it seems to you that these signs change, watching your steps. A muffled whisper is heard behind you, forcing you to accelerate your pace. You start to run, but the catacombs seem to stretch, depriving you of any hope of salvation. When you finally reach a deeper level, something incredible opens before you. There are statues that resemble strange monsters, and a black liquid flows from their eyes. You feel this liquid looking straight into your soul, and suddenly you realize that the catacombs themselves choose their own. You have reached what seems to be the exit from the catacombs. It is a large circular room with smooth walls that resemble polished glass. The walls are marked with human handprints, but they do not remain static. You see them move, dissolving and reappearing, as if the room has a life of its own. In the center of the room stands something that resembles a large mirror. But it is not a mirror. As you approach, its surface becomes restless, like murky water, and you see your reflection, but with mismatched features. Your face looks older, worn, as if what is reflected is your soul, not your body. When you touch the surface, the reflection comes to life. It begins to whisper to you words you have never heard but understand. It speaks of your fears, your sins, everything you have tried to hide from yourself. With each passing second, the whispers grow louder, becoming a scream that tears your thoughts apart. Suddenly, the mirror explodes, and darkness covers you like a wave. You feel yourself being sucked into the void, and only a faint glimmer of light in the distance gives you hope that this is not the end. You wake up in a tunnel that stretches endlessly in both directions. The walls are covered with thick veins, similar to roots, pulsing as if alive. You try to find a way, but with each step the tunnel narrows, forcing you to crouch, then crawl. There is absolute silence, until you hear a sound that sounds like gnawing. It comes from the depths of the tunnel, and you realize that you are not alone. The footsteps become more cautious, but the noise is getting closer. You stop trying to hide in the shadows when you see them. The creatures are indescribable. Their bodies resemble a mixture of human and animal forms, but their heads are covered with rows of sharp teeth. Their eyes are two empty holes that radiate a bone-chilling cold. They move quickly, their teeth constantly gnawing at the roots of the walls, and each broken part of the root turns to ash. One of them notices you. It makes an eerie sound that resembles a mixture of roar and hiss. You run back into the darkness, but these creatures chase you, their teeth snapping closer and closer. At the moment when one of them almost grabs your leg, the tunnel widens, revealing a new room where the light disappears and the fear only intensifies.